Hello, everybody. My name is Manan, and I'm a technical consultant here at GlideFast. Today, I'm going to show you a new feature that ServiceNow is going to offer with the Vancouver release, and it revolves around working with security rules, or better known as ACLs. I will try to explain you the new feature with an example of a use case. So, taking any incident here as an example, I have added a custom field called business unit to the form, and it is a simple string field. As part of the use case, we want only admins or users with the admin role to be able to write on the business unit field. Now, usually, in order to complete this requirement, I would have gone to config security rules or config all and then security rules and created a new write ACLs where I would only allow admins to be able to write on the business unit field. With the Vancouver release, it's a lot simple. So again, I'll start with elevating myself to security admin. Once elevated, if I right-click on the business unit field, in addition to the typical options, I get an option called Configure Security. Here, I can simply click on this option. On the pop-up here, you'll see that the definition is for the incident table and the business unit field. Operation, for our use case, we are going to pick write. And you will see we have all the available roles on the left-hand side. All we need to do is pick the role that we want the right access given for the business unit field. So I'm simply going to click on admin and hit OK. Once it is saved, I can close the box and let me reload. And that was pretty much all. For testing, I'm going to impersonate the ITIL user. As an ITIL user, if I open any incident, you will see the business unit field for me is read-only because given that I do not have the admin role, I do not have the access to write on the business unit field. How simple was that? If I end impersonation and go back to the incident record, I'm going to elevate myself again to the security admin. If I show you the dictionary configuration for the field, you'll notice an ACL for the write operation has already been created, and it was done through the configuration that we just did. So you really didn't have to go ahead and create a new record. All you had to do is right-click, hit Configure Security, and pick the correct role. Now expanding on this, let's suppose we also want to give a particular group access to write on the field as well. So right from here, I'm just going to click on New to create a new ACL. For operation, again, I'm going to pick write, incident, business unit. Down below, you will see a new section called Security Attribute Condition. We already had a place for roles as well as to add conditions and a script. But now what we have is the security attribute conditions. You can pick from the following options. So I can pick group is. And for the demo, I'm going to pick IT securities. I'm just going to save this. And that was all. IT security group members should now be able to write on the business unit field. Typically, I would have written a script, something like the logged in user is member of the IT security team. But as you can see, it is much simpler this way. You can also pick the other options as you seem fit for your use case. Group explicit means that the logged in user or the user performing the operation needs to be directly given membership to the group. So they can, as part of the first option, they can be part of a parent group of the IT securities group, and they will still have the access to write on the field. With we changing it to group explicit, only the members that are included in the IT securities team would be able to edit or write on the field. Has admin role, pretty self-explanatory. Impersonating, so if the logged in user or the user performing the operation is impersonating a certain user, or if they are impersonating is true or false, if the session is interactive, if the user is logged in or not. Role again, we can expand on this. And role explicit, again, the same meaning as I explained for the groups. So for role, they can inherit the role as a child role to a parent role. For example, they can have a CMDB read role if they have the ITER role. But if we pick the role explicit, they need to have the CMDB write role in order to perform the function or the operation. That was all for the demo today. I hope this was valuable, and I'm pretty sure this is going to help us a lot in order to create ACLs or work around ACLs, and it's going to make our life a lot more easier.